Hi, I'm David, and I'm here to talk to you about cryptocurrency price analysis for Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. Today we'll be talking about alt season. Has it begun? Is it about to begin? How will we be able to tell if it does? Well, I'm going to look at a bunch of different altcoins today. We're going to compare them to Bitcoin's performance and see if we can get an answer to that question. So without further ado, don't forget to like and subscribe below. Let's get right into it. All right, let's start here with Bitcoin. Since we're talking about altcoin season, we're going to need to compare to how Bitcoin's been performing to see if we think the altcoin season has begun. So, since it's defined by actually altcoins breaking away from Bitcoin and performing better as Bitcoin consolidates. Is that happening? Let's take a look. So let's start off here. Let's see how Bitcoin's been doing. We're going to use, here's the metrics we're going to use. We're going to go from April 1st, which is when really the recent rally began for just about all the coins, through to today, like most recent price action as of when I'm shooting this. This is basically because I had to choose some metric that was standardized across all these coins to compare how they've been performing. I'm aware I could have chosen the beginning of 2019 to now. I could have chosen the coin's bottoms through to the recent rallies. As long as it was consistent, I think you're going to see kind of the same point that I'm going to make here today. So I chose April 1st, the beginning of the rally, through to now. So that's my logic. Let's compare. So Bitcoin, for starters, and we got April 1st down here. I'm going to do a little crude. I mean, half of a percentage isn't going to matter. You're going to get the point. So here we go. Up through today, we got about an 83% rise for Bitcoin. Fantastic. Not too shabby. That's close to double. It actually was, I think, double when we were above 8,000. We've had a little bit of a pullback, but that's pretty much going to be our standard metric. See if anyone can beat that. And who can beat that? Bitcoin Cash. So let's check that out. All right. Here's Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at that same time frame, starting at April 1st and heading up to now. And we've got about 131% rise. That's a good, what is that, like almost 50% higher than Bitcoin? Not bad. I'm not sure of the catalyst for this. My best guess is that this has to do with Bitcoin SV being delisted from some exchanges. Talked about this in a video recently. I'm not taking sides or anything like that. I'm just stating a fact that Bitcoin SV was delisted, and I think some of that capital might have flowed into Bitcoin Cash. It would at least be a potential candidate for why Bitcoin Cash is performing so well, and maybe people just like it. It's very plausible. So Bitcoin Cash is beating Bitcoin. Anyone else in the top 30? Oh, I should also qualify. I'm sticking to about the top 30 basically because I don't want to bring in small cap alts to try to see if I feel they're running the market. A small pump and dump alt isn't really what we're looking for here. We're looking for how many of the major alts are performing. So just to be clear. However, another alt that is doing really well, Chainlink. All right, so here's Chainlink. It's been on a bit of a tear ever since Consensus. Some interesting news came out. Basically, its mainnet's going live on Ethereum on May 30th. It's an interesting project. People seem to be very excited about this. I can only assume that's the main catalyst for why it's performing so well. So let's take a quick look at actually how it is performing. From about there to now, look at about 134% gains. Even a little better than Bitcoin Cash. So as far as I can tell, those are the two coins that are really beating Bitcoin in the top like 30. So is anyone else keeping pace? Of course. Let's start off with Ethereum. All right, here we're looking at Ethereum. Let's see how it performed since April 1st. And we're looking at about a 69, 70% rise. That's not too far behind Bitcoin, just about, what, 15% or so. Ethereum's been pretty solid. I don't know of any real catalyst. Ethereum more seems to be moving with, again, well, it's moving kind of a little behind, but with the market. Another coin not as doing quite as well, but highlighting the point of moving with the market, Litecoin. Now there's April 1st. Let's take it to about now. We're looking at about a 45% rise. And in fact, without going through a whole bunch of coins, a lot of the higher cap, well-known coins are doing between like 40 and 60% gains. Again, Bitcoin's pretty consistently over 80%. So what about some laggers? Who's lagging behind? Well, again, we're not picking on anybody. These are just facts. Ripple is not doing so well compared to the others. All right, here we have Ripple, and it had quite a run up here, but it just wasn't able to hold it. And we're looking at a pretty solid 18%. Not great, but it's still moving in the correct direction. Another one, popular coin with a lot of optimistic news, Tron. Another coin that's pretty popular and has a lot of positive news coming out for it right now, and it's risen. I mean, it's also had some very notable pumps, but we're looking at about 11 to 12% gains in that same time frame. Still moving in the right direction, still up, but again, none of the alts are really moving down significantly, not against USD. But let's take a larger look at the market now, a cross-reference of many coins at once here. Now here's a site that I use kind of a lot. This is called cryptomarketsite.com, and it's really good for comparing a bunch of charts simultaneously. Here, they're all powered by TradingView. And here I have, up here is Bitcoin against the US dollar, just for reference, as we've been talking about. And then all these other ones are other alts, and they're all against Bitcoin, actually, to highlight the point I'm trying to make. We've got Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar, Cardano, Chainlink, Tron, Monero, EOS, and Binance Coin. Some we just talked about, some we didn't. Over here are really the ones that are performing better. You got your Bitcoin Cash and Chainlink. Binance Coin's not beating Bitcoin, but it's performing rather well. It's not far behind. The rest of these, if you look, again, there's a lot of information here, but what you're trying to see is that the shape of a lot of these, they're not gaining against Bitcoin. Again, I to remind you, this is all against Bitcoin, not the US dollar. These are all, like you can see, they're all on a downtrend against Bitcoin currently. They've all had a little bit of a pump because Bitcoin just had a little dip here. But they're not rising against Bitcoin, and that's really what you'd expect to see during a true alt season. I think you can see where I'm going with this. We're just not seeing. Bitcoin recently did pump and consolidate. That's the first thing we're going to want to see with alt season. Ran up, and then it stopped out around 8,000. But when that happened, we didn't see the other alts really rally, with minor exceptions. But most of them rose with Bitcoin, got stopped out around the same place. Not actual levels, but as they all moved in sync. They all moved like around the same. So they're really more correlated right now. What we're looking for is divergence. A really simple and kind of obvious way to chart this, as I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, CoinMarketCap. Here we have the Bitcoin dominance chart, and it's over the last year in the time frame. And as you can see, not only is Bitcoin not dropping in dominance, not significantly, it's basically rising. It's been rising for trending upwards for the whole last year, and this is the essence of why I don't really think we're in alt season yet. You're going to want to see Bitcoin dominance dropping and alts rising the next time it reaches a point of consolidation. We didn't see it at 8,000. We're going to want to probably see another run up, maybe to 10, maybe beyond that. But when it happens, we're going to see a run up and a consolidation that when that happens, all the alts start rallying more or less in unison. Until then, it seems like the market's more rising together. So that's the gist of what we're waiting for. I couldn't tell you if it's going to happen at 10 or when we get to new all-time highs at 20. We could even see maybe a couple of smaller altcoin rallies along the way as we climb up. But that's what I'm not going to tell you when it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what it's going to look like when it happens. You're going to see a drop in Bitcoin dominance, a rise in alt dominance. You're going to see all the alts more or less rallying together. And until then, it's really not alt season. But when that happens, I'll be here to talk about it. Well, once again, that should do it for me. As I always say, this is not investment advice. This is just my personal opinion. Go do your own research and make your own decisions. Until next time, don't forget that like and subscribe. Good luck with your trades.